All right, so today I'm going to talk to you about creating a visual brand. So, as we talked about before, if you haven't gone through and watched the how to create, I think it's like a 4-part series, how to create a personal brand, then go back and watch those because you do need to figure those out before you get into the visual branding. That is the number one mistake that I see people make, is they go straight for the visual branding before they actually get clear on the core of their brand. So don't make that mistake. Go back and watch those if you haven't. If you have, and you do have an understanding of your branding, let's get into the visual part. So today we're going to talk about like themes, color schemes, filters, grid layouts, and all of that. So, and just let you know, this is part of what I'm going off of, my signature program of what I have in here. So that's what I'm referring to when I'm looking over here. I'm actually going through and just wanting to make this a little bit more accessible. We do a much deeper dive in the program itself, but I wanted to give more people an overview to help you get started. So let's see. I know that before I have talked about creating templates for branded quotes. I do have another IGTV video if that's something that you're interested in doing, that you can go back and watch. It's just how to create a branded quote in Canva. And that is a really great way to, if you're part of your brand is to share different quotes that you find or quotes that you have from, maybe a podcast or something. That's a great way to brand them to be in your brand. You know what I mean? To like have them be a part of your brand aesthetic. So the first thing we want to do is we want to choose a theme style. So this will be your signature look and a major part of your visual branding. So your theme style consists of your color scheme and your brand essence, which is the emotions that your brand exudes. So that is part 1 of the Building Your Brand series, is the brand essence. So go back and watch that if you're confused. Then your color scheme is going to work inside of your theme style. So you want to choose a style that works best with your environment and that you spend the majority of your time in, so you can create content with easily. And so how do you want your overall Instagram feed to look like and feel like? What matches your brand essence and your tone of voice? Those things are huge. Your brand essence and tone of voice, that is how your theme style needs to be based off of. So if you're, there a couple of the different ones are like, is it white and bright, dark and moody, colorful, tropical, natural colors, neutral colors, vintage, warm tones, cool tones? Think about like how you want your Instagram profile to feel like. So if you're unsure, find an account that you enjoy the overall feed and what are the type of photos that they post and the colors and the background colors and all of that type of stuff. So, actually I'm getting ahead of myself. I was just going to get into color psychology, but we'll get there in a second. So, the next thing is color scheme. So now that you have an idea of what you want your theme style to be, you now need to talk colors. So your color scheme is the visual identity of your feed. Your colors will represent your brand, and it has a huge impact of the overall look and feel of your brand. So color psychology, here I go. If you have not heard of color psychology, I highly recommend that you go on Google and you just type in color psychology and read a little bit about it. Color psychology is the study of hues as a determinant in the human behavior. So it's how our brain perceives what it visualizes. So I have I'll actually link a website in the comments on here, so you can go check it out, because on here I just say like take time to read this. But when choosing a color scheme for your feed, you want to choose about 3 to 5 colors and stick to them. So it's not like a hard and fast rule. Like it's, I think beginning and starting out, and to keep yourself consistent and on brand, maybe stick a little bit to it more. But then as you grow, you'll see how you can, you can make exceptions places. But let's just say there's no exceptions for right now to get you on the right path. So if you think about it, like color psychology, when you think of yellow, you think of like happy and zest and, you know, that type of stuff. And green is growth, black is more authoritative, blue is calming, purple is a lot of like more royal or very like spiritual. I mean, you get the point. So you can see how that is going to already, you want to match that to evoke the certain emotions. So with my brand, like I use a lot of greens because that evokes like growth. I use black for like more of an authoritative. I have that dramatic feel to my content. And then I use a lot of neutral colors. I really like the white, crisp, very clean, very organized feel of things. And then I love popping yellows and oranges in there here and there as just like a fun, playful way. So the next thing is your grid layout for your feed. So one of the best ways to keep your feed looking cohesive is by sticking with a grid layout. So it helps the overall look and feel of your feed. So we can talk more about this when we talk about like a planning app or something, but a way, like think about the grid layout is how it's structured. So you've probably seen ones with like all borders or every other. So it's like lifestyle photo, quote, photo, quote, photo, quote, and then you can see it's like a checkerboard. You could do rows where it's like 3 quotes and then 3 lifestyle photos and, you know, keep going. You could have, I mean, you can just do a bunch of different things. So you can look up and search grid style if you want to see like specifics of that. And then with the editing and your filters. So, well, you've chosen your theme style, your color schemes, your grid layouts, and next you need to align that with your visual identity. So, okay, how to do this quickly. Editing and filters. So a lot of people get really stuck in this part of the visual branding just because they think that it has to look super, super perfect altogether. And you don't have to be like a professional photographer, and you don't have to spend a ton of money on professional photos, really. An iPhone is going to do just fine. There are different ways that you can create consistency with that, is, you know, whether it's editing it a certain way, which once you find your editing skill or editing, what's the word I was looking for? I was going to say skill. That doesn't make sense. Once you get in the groove of your editing style, then it's just going to become second nature. The second thing is you can get a filter. Instagram has filters for you, or if you haven't found a filter that you like through like that or VSCO or any of the other apps, you can go to creativemarket.com or Etsy, and a lot of graphic designers have created filter packs where you can get like 4 to 8 or plus whatever, and then which allow you to put it on or put the filter on any of the photos. You just basically want to see what the filter colors bring out and then match it to your theme style. So if you have like warmer tones, like oranges and reds and all that kind of stuff, you don't want to use a filter pack that makes the colors more like greens and blues and that type of thing. And I'm trying to hurry up because my phone's at like 2%. Anyways, so with that, how I edit my photos is I actually like to make it as simple as possible. So I actually go into, just with the iPhone, you can go into the filters and do dramatic. That's where I take all of my photos on. And if they haven't been taken on that, I will then put that dramatic filter on. Usually that's pretty good. And then I will then put it into Facetune, which is an app. Just the first one, I don't do this Facetune 2. So Facetune 1 is fine. And then I will actually bring up the brightness a little bit. And then if I need to detail anything that I want to detail or just like have fun with the little editing things, but then I'll just save that and bring it into Instagram right away. And I will turn up brightness, maybe turn up contrast, turn down shadows a little bit to make it a little bit more contrasted. Depending on if my photo is a little too orange, then I'll turn warmth down. If it's not orange enough or it doesn't have warmth enough, then I'll turn that up. And that's pretty much it. I like to keep it super simple. But some people do really like to have the filters. So that is really just like a really quick and dirty way to get your visual brand or yeah, get your personal brand visually aesthetic, visually appealing. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by these. So anyways, that's a quick and dirty version. If you have any questions, let me know.